What's good, everybody? It's your girl, Lily the Goddess. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of FlawlessDreams radio show. Tonight, I want to welcome back an exciting artist by the name of Rap Starr. Y'all know who he is, okay? Act like you know, because you should. What's up? How you doing, King?
How you doing? What's popping, everybody? What's good?
What's good? We got a little sidetrack. We talking about Dragon Ball Z and all that jazz.
You already know.
I
know that's my show.
If as much as you're into anime, will you be mentioning any more anime or any anime references in your rap verses or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. Going to be a lot of Dragon Ball Z references, of course. Yu Yu Hakusho, Yasha, Afro Samurai, Samurai Champloo, Vampire D, Kiki's Delivery Service, all of that, all of that. That's my joint right there. So I love anime, grew up on it, so.
Yep, I grew up on anime too. I love it. It's definitely. I remember when liking anime was seen as like corny or you're like this outcast. Now everybody loves anime. Now it's like, you're not cool unless you like anime. What's up,
Yeah, and
Sassy?
the crazy thing is, like, the quote unquote cool kids, they can't help it because, like, I got introduced to anime, of course, with Pokemon. I was a real big Pokemon
Gotta catch them
fanatic, like to the point where my favorite game, I had this on, I think, Game Boy Color. I had Pokemon trading card game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of the people who actually collected cards in the high 90s, none of them actually knew how to play the game. They just collected the cards, trade them, and everything like that. Me, I can battle people. I, used to collect, when I had the Pokemon cards back in the day. I didn't just buy the like little 12 pack or the 24 pack. I bought the box that came with all of this stuff on it,
Mm-hmm.
So I actually know how to play the Pokemon trading card game because of the Game Boy game. Actually, I just bought a new laptop. That's what I'm talking to y'all right now. And I actually downloaded the what is it? The emulator. The Game Boy Advance emulator, and I downloaded like Pokemon Crystal, and I downloaded Pokemon Trading Cards. So I'm in my glory right now.
That's what's up. Oh my gosh. So how many of those Pokemon cards did you actually keep?
Oh man, I had a lot. I probably still have like a few around here somewhere, but I think like a couple of years ago, I actually sold most of them. But I had not only that, I had like Pokemon toys. I had the Burger King gold card back in like the 90s where they had the big round Pokemon ball. And you open
Mm-hmm.
it up and it had the Pokemon card. I had a Charizard in there, so
Mm-hmm.
I was all in it. That was the first introduction to anime that I actually had. Then after that was Dragon Ball Z on Toonami Cartoon Network. Then after that, Adult Swim. That's where I was introduced to Inuyasha and Samurai Champloo and Yu Yu Hakusho. And then my dad actually used to throw me like a couple from like in the 80s. So I used to watch Vampire D. And that was all incorporated with me watching kung fu movies and karate movies, and I was around all of that stuff thanks to my dad. I'm watching kung fu movies with Jet Li, where Jet Li was like young. I mean, really young. I mean, we talking when he's still talking Chinese and not even English in the movies. So all of that was a part of my childhood. So it was very
I
nice.
love that. It's good to have that relationship with your father. He passed on his anime knowledge to you, and
Yeah, he,
so
me and
I'm
him, me and him,
assuming
we
you're gonna do the
tight.
same to your children, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. I probably have like like a crib or a cradle that looks like a Saiyan pod or something like that. Something,
Oh my God, I got to sit in a sand pod at this last Comic Con. I was like, yes,
word.
yes, I get to sit in a
Yeah.
sand pod. I was like, I'm a
I
sand now. Woo! Yeah, that was
want to
great.
go into those booths. I want to go to those booths with some power up booths where like you go into the booth and it's like a capsule. You be like and they got all of that
Yeah.
like energy in it, and they got the man. If I ever turn Super Saiyan 3, watch out, watch out.
Ah! Well, I want to find out what's going on with you nowadays um with your TV series called One Mic.
Hmm.
You break that down for me a little bit.
Shout out to Coralie White. He's the director of the TV series. It's actually going to be streamed on Tubi, and it was basically a friend of a friend. Shout out to my homegirl Kimberly Hart. Um, she introduced me to Coralie. That's her cousin. And me and him, we just started vibing, and I seen like the intro of what he was working with, and he's working with some phenomenal people, like some huge people. And I appreciate it. 90s baby, got the 90s baby on there. But it was crazy. Me and him, we just chatted up, and I'd done like a couple of scenes where I'm rapping my song 1990 ish. Early this summer, I actually performed at this club that's actually going to be a scene in this TV series, and I'm performing 1990 ish. I'm performing, I think, my song Coast to Coast with King Peter Hustler. Shout out to King Peter Hustler. And that's pretty much it. Just like my second time on like an actual TV/movie film, because the first movie that I was in, I was an extra in the movie Fences. If you ever know what the movie Fences is, that's with Denzel Washington, Viola Davis. It was actually shot in my city. The funny thing was the scene that I was in, Denzel Washington was like sitting like, I don't know, like maybe 3-4 seats around me, and I heard him laugh, and he laughed just like he laughed when he was in the movie Malcolm X. So it was like crazy. I was like, yo, that's really him. You know, I was an extra. We was in a bar scene, and it was crazy because this is like the first time I actually been through like hair and makeup and everything. So of course the storyline is like in the 20s. So in the 20s, men didn't really have all of this. They didn't have the beard, they didn't have the trim, they just had like the mustache.
Right.
So they got me in hair and makeup, and they shaved all of my, just had like a little bit, and then I had like a beret, had a little suit on and everything, and it was cool. It was real cool. But I'm not really big into being in like in the movie scenes. That's not really what I want to do, because it seems too cliche now. Like, I'm the type of person where I want to do something different. I want to shock the world and do something different. It's just like any rapper out there, eventually you're gonna see him in a movie. Eventually, me, I'll have a different route. Like I'm a hip hop artist, but with being a hip hop artist, I also want to teach. I also want to have people listen to my songs and not only get some valuable information from it, but actually be a using tool to teach people. Like I want universities to listen to my record and be like, okay, um, listen to this record. I want you to tell me what are the sources from it and what can you gather from it. Like this is valuable information that I want people to look at and be like, okay, yeah, this is what actually was going on here. And he knows because he's a historian. So
I love it. You got a lot of people going over here and talking to you in the comment section. They love your chains. They love your cradle saying pod idea.
yeah,
Shout out to
appreciate
everybody,
it.
tuning in. Shout out to the family. Do you want to give any special shout outs, by the way?
Shout out to Beverly Bush, Beautiful Danger Entertainment. What up, Sam Jones? What else? Uh, Lady V, Clashy Trashy Records, sister label. Um, Shout out to all the producers who produce my records, mix my records. You know, y'all are the best. Shout out to Lily the Goddess for having me on the show. You know, it's a beautiful day.
Hey, what can you tell me a little bit about your track known as "We Run This"? What inspired this track?
You know what? Like I said before, I'm a historian. So, being that I have ethnicities in being in Africa, here in America as an indigenous, Native American, I want my music to uplift my people. And I always wanted to do this ever since I heard the actual beginning of the song. So anybody knows the Sugar Hill Gang, Apache. And if you don't know Apache, you gotta know Apache. If you don't really know it for real, I'm pretty sure you went and watched Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and you seen
Hmm.
Will Smith, and you seen, and they dancing and they dun 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 jump on it. Jump. That's the joint. And being that that song's called Apache, and if you ever seen the actual music video of it, it's very Native American. You got people in the Native American headdresses and everything. So being that this is a part of my culture, I wanted to make a record that connects with my culture, and I want this to be played like every year, not only on Indigenous Peoples Day. We're gonna rock this on Columbus Day, bump that out. We're gonna rock this on 4th of July because you know who stole what. We're gonna play this fourth, like I said, 4th of July. We're gonna play this Thanksgiving, most definitely. Bang it all day, Thanksgiving. I don't care. You know, it's just something for the people, something to say, you know what, this is the indigenous Native Americans. We are here. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't never been nowhere. We here, and we're making a statement in hip hop. I think the crazy thing about it is when we speak about hip hop and the type of people who benefit hip hop is the minorities. That's the black and the brown people. And we created that sound. It was blacks,
Well,
Jamaican.
darn. I guess I'm kind of lacking in the melon in there, my guy.
Again, black, Puerto Rican, and Jamaicans created hip hop. So being that all three groups created hip hop, I'm wearing. You see this? What I got? I got the black and white resistant flag, Puerto Rico. I got the
Mm-hmm.
young lords right here. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Rico stand up. So we are the same people. How can you get three people who created a culture so huge that had made it past 52 years, and not just in the United States but around the world? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, like I said, we have Boricuas. We are part of the hip hop culture. Not
Mm-hmm.
only we are African, but we also are indigenous. So when I look at another Latin rapper, he or she is also a Native American hip hop artist. You know, so again, this record is an anthem for our people. I try to make anthems for every song that I do. Power to my
Mm-hmm.
people. That's an anthem. You know what I'm saying? So these is records that I want people to enjoy. I want people, their mothers, fathers, grandmothers, daughters, sisters, cousins, kids, babies to listen to it. I ain't even
Mm-hmm.
cussing that one song. But it's
Mm-hmm.
because this is for the people. And I'm all about the people.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and even if y'all don't have brown skin, because oops. But I am Puerto Rican and I love it. And it's tough being a light skinned Puerto Rican when
You know what? It's crazy because I was actually having this conversation with somebody on Instagram, and I follow this page. It's like a biracial page,
Hmm.
and a lot of the stories that I'm hearing a lot of stories, but the one perspective that I didn't like was the guy. He was trying to say that it was different from being biracial
Hmm.
and then different from being black. And I'm like,
Hmm.
well, it's not really biracial and black, it's actually color. Because you got black people who have two parents who are fully black and they have a skin tone of yours. You
Hmm.
also have biracial people, and not all biracial people are light bright. We got varies of different
God, I can't
variations
believe
of
you
people.
said that word. That's what Player Trey. Shout out to Player Trey was trying to call me. He was trying to come up with a nickname for me, so he started calling me Light Bright, and I'm like, please don't call me that. Then he started calling me Yellow, and I'm like, what, dude? What? No, what? You
But
know?
check, but check, but check this out. I got two
Mm-hmm,
sisters, one older and one younger. Me,
mm-hmm.
I'm some say I'm caramel colored, right?
That's right. Jasami is my daughter, by the way. We are mixed. We have a lot.
Yes.
I know. Yes, Yuki. Yes, I was called yellow. I've been. Let me tell you something. Rap star. I've been called every racial slur in the book, like every single one. The N word. That like you keep it rolling. Think of it. I've been called it, and I keep telling. And that's because when I walk into a room, some people will see the different ethnicities that are in my background. They'll see, are you Italian? Are you Chinese? Are you Japanese? I said, I have a little percent of Japanese. I have this much percent Chinese. Yes, I'm Greek and I'm Dutch. They said, but you said you're Puerto Rican. I'm like, yeah, I'm mixed. I'm a mutt. Puerto Rican is a mutt. We're mutts.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is. And just certain percents depending on our families, like my dad, he's 100% Puerto Rican, and we have Irish royalty in our background because of Papa Bear. And I said,
Mm-hmm.
we better go buy us a castle. And I was gonna go to Ireland, give me a castle, man. Give me a castle.
See, it's like I said, it's all about complexion. Because I remember this summer, um, I work at Home Depot, so in my Home Depot, we're the number one Home Depot in the region. So
We're all yummy
even if
food.
there's even if there's a quote unquote Latino person that I
Mhm,
might not like remember or I don't know them, automatically they speak Spanish to me.
mhm,
It's
mhm.
okay because I can speak it right back. I can help them, but it's
Matagoya,
like,
everybody. Get your Matagoya.
but it's like that's what it is. Now I went to a different one, and I was waiting on. I guess it was a Mexican. I guess he was
Mhm.
from Mexico, and me and him were speaking. So he asked me, he's like, what are you? And I told him, so Boricua. He told me, he said, I thought Puerto Ricans were white. I was like,
I can't. Oh my gosh,
I
Rasto,
was
thank you. I was like, why are you saying that? We're all colors. You can just get a box of chocolates and then put the Puerto Rican flag on it, and you're gonna get every flavor. That's But one thing that I noticed that we all have in common, as Puerto Ricans, is we have very soft features. No matter the complexion, we have very soft features.
Mhm.
We hot.
If you Google, they say Puerto Ricans are the most attractive people in the world. It's crazy because we have
Facts.
the Taino, the African, and the
Because we
Spanish. You
mixed, and
know,
so it's like we're citizens of the world. You know what I'm saying? I would think that maybe this is my Puerto Rican pride coming out, that if anybody was to end any type of like racial perspective, like, bias and stuff, would be somebody Puerto Rican, because of how mixed we are. We're like the most mixed in the whole wide world.
Well, we
And
would have to.
why
We
wouldn't
would
we be
have
the
to.
ones to bring people together, bring people together and
Right. We would have to. We would definitely have to get a Puerto Rican who is real well rounded within everything. Because, like I said, there's Puerto Ricans that I know who try to they run away from being African. They run
mm,
away from being Taino. No, I'm
mm.
Spanish, and it's like you got Spanish blood in you, but for you to actually be a Puerto Rican, you have to have Taino blood in you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know why they do that. I did watch some videos, like I was watching some documentaries, and they were trying to say uh the racist things that happened in Puerto Rico. I'm like, I didn't even think it was like that in the Rico. I mean, I have my grandmom that lives there, and she's like, I don't even know what they're talking about. And says we don't
Mm.
have. I've never, because my grandma lives in Puerto Rico, and she's been there her whole life. And I mean, obviously there's bias everywhere. People talk about, oh, mira, look at mira Blanquita, or
And
mira
that's
negrita.
and that's and
Yeah.
that's what it is. See, there's a difference. There's a difference between racism in America and I'll say colorism in Latin America because it stems from slavery. What it is you have two different ideologies of two different colonizers, right? So the Spanish, the Portuguese, they were colonizers. Now the difference between them and the English was there was more of a historical mixing, even with the Spanish and the Portuguese. We got to tend to forget that the Moors conquered Spain. The highest population of Muslims in the world is over in Asia because of the Moors. So all of that was mixing. I did a DVD documentary on the Spanish community in Denora, PA. And when I did research on Spain, it said that 20% of the population is of Muslim religion, and more than like 30% have African ancestry because of this. Now, because of this, they're already into the mixture. England, not so much. So when you have the ideologies of the United States, they put up rules because slavery was different than slavery in Latin America. In certain places of Latin America, it was more severe than the United States because what happened was you have the highest population of black people. The highest population of black people next to Africa is Brazil. That was because of the slave trade. Because of that, they had sugar cane. Sugar cane is one of the most hardest crops for you to grow. And the different ideology between here in the United States and Latin America is they would work their slaves to death. Once they die, they hopped on a ship, went back to Africa, and brought more. Here in the United States, they did that, but when it got outlawed, some of them, most of them, started breeding them. So we talking about breeding farms. We talking about, okay, I have slaves, I'm gonna breed more slaves so they produce children so I can have more slaves. Or you
Yeah,
would sell your
and
slave
what
to
a lot of
different things.
people fail to remember is that slavery was not seen the way it is today, because everybody, how society changes, everything changes. Before, everything was just about who was stronger. The conqueror had nothing to do with people's race or ethnicity. It was just, because we had tribes that were of the same race trying to conquer each other. So it didn't matter if they were both, morenos. It's just, it was also about all about who had the bigger stick, who had the bigger stick. But then as time progressed, and we have, United States, eventually things of different view started to be created. For instance, racism really is a thing that didn't it was not seen. First of all, it wasn't even a word once upon a time before United States. And again, it was just the conquerors. That's all it was. You watch Greece, or everybody has been enslaved. It didn't matter what skin color they were, white, black, Asian, the Chinese with the Japanese, the Irish, the Scottish everybody was trying to just conquer each other. But then as the years progressed, eventually racism started to become a thing. And with United States, of course, the rise of the United States, the rise of a lot of racial issues. But it wasn't seen just yet. It wasn't even seen just yet. And that's because I think we talked about this before, where in Africa, the gringos didn't even go a certain degree through Africa because they wouldn't be able to survive. Not
Let me
with,
let me let me let me let me school let me school you real quick, because this is right up my alley. Remember, I got a degree in this, wrote
yeah, so
thesis
do I.
papers and everything. That's
So
what's
do
up.
I.
So let me tell you something. The oldest form of slavery is prostitution, right? So you have many different forms of slavery, but nothing holds a candle to the chattel slavery of the North Atlantic slave trade. This was the first time in history where what's the estimate? Over 25.5 million Africans was brought to another part of the world, rather if it was Caribbean, South America, North America. Because of that, this country was built on slaves. So when I tell people, when you talk about the Civil War wasn't about slaves. It was about the expansion to the West, because you had the North and the South when the Industrial Revolution was coming. That's what the fight was. Because while the West, where everybody was moving westward, and the North was trying to progress, the whole world is having steam engines, because the more you have steam engines, you get to produce mass products faster. But the South did not want to let go of their slaves. They wanted to keep the things, the old ways and everything like that. They could have won. We all would have been singing Yankee Doodle and all that bullshit and everything like that. But, because of certain things that happened. Now, as far as race is concerned, race is a made up term to describe classism within human beings. Now, with that being said, race was put on to control different people. So when you have somebody who says, okay, I don't like this person because of this person, because of their color or whatever, that's not them being racist. That's them being a bigot. That's them being prejudiced. But behind your actual prejudice, you have to say, because I don't like you, I'm going to control the resources. I'm going to control things that everybody needs to survive. And you're not going to get anything, but I'm going to benefit. That's where we had all the civil rights movements. That's why we had different things. If you think about it, Caucasian women got their rights 40 years before black and brown people as a whole, men and women, got rights to vote. So some of these things that are in history, like I said, there's a difference between all the other slavery and chattel slavery, because chattel slavery is what built this country. Literally, what built this country is the backs of the indigenous people here in America and the backs of Africans in America. Now, other Africans did sell their brothers and sisters to slavery, but guess what? Africans didn't consider themselves brother and sisters until when they got over to America, because they had no choice, because they all had a common ancestor. Like you said, if I'm from the Zulu
Some of them
nation,
still don't.
yeah,
Some of
some
them
of them
still
still
don't.
don't. Some of them still
There's a,
don't. And
it's a,
but
yeah.
it's like this. It's like this till this day. So like when I'm having a debate with European Americans, and they say, "Well, black people own slaves too," I say, "Yeah, white people own slaves too. Didn't you hear about the British and the Scottish?" So I'm like, so when we talk about slavery, I want people here in America, yes, there's a history, a whole human history of slavery, but the most detrimental form of slavery is chattel, because you can see different generations from slavery have been abolished up until now, a whole group of people is suffering under those circumstances, while other people who was disadvantaged by other things, like let's say the Jews, for example, the Holocaust was.
Now you do know that's a long history.
No,
and right now you have a
that's
comment.
that's a long history. But what I'm saying is,
All right, just
Jewish
make sure you answer
the
her
Holocaust.
question. She wants
Wait.
to know.
So what are some of your lyrics connected to these things? I'm interested in listening. Okay, so if you look at Power to My People, Power to My People is like an introduction. I'm still actually making records on these. I'm actually just doing like records right now just to get like my foot in the door. But as I start completing my album, I'm going to have more and more in depth with some of the things that I'm talking about. So Power to My People is a little intro. Political statement, I'm touching on just a little bit. Indigenous Nation, we run this. This is touching on a little bit. And, I have other songs that I'm writing too, that's going to be touching on a lot more. But all of these things that I'm talking about within my music, these are things that I actually researched for myself, did thesis paper. I remember a college professor told me, he said, when you're researching something, make sure you research the opposite of what you're actually trying to prove. Because if you don't find no other contradictions, then you're going in the right direction.
Yeah. If you
know
don't
what I'm
find
saying? So
how that can combat with what you're trying to prove, then you don't really have something that's concrete.
Right.
Same thing here. That's I remember, with my professors, the same thing. One of the things that I really hope that everybody can enjoy about this song, We Run This, is that it is a very powerful song, and I believe it brings people together. I'm really excited for everybody to hear it. Please, everybody in the comment section, let us know what you think about We Run This. I'm going to let you go ahead, Rap Starr, and announce this song. Come on, man.
Cheer. Man, shout out to Mac Beats for producing this record, man. We got a hot one, son. Yo, this is Indigenous Nation, We Run This, produced by the none other Mac Beats, man. It's crazy. Indigenous people, stand the fuck up.
My whole entire nation is indigenous. The Caribbean, you heard of us. North, Central, South Americas. Hold up, take a hit of this peace pipe. I'ma show you MCs how to rock a mic. Up jump the boogie, oh you jump to me. You are now rocking with the Seminole Chief. Tiny no W me. This old equal Waterhouse, Tucson, bed. Salute to the ones in the rest life. Therapeutic music, get your head right. You know this is a hit. Rock your hips like to do a fresh brain. Tiny no, we run this, we run this. We run this. You heard just what I'm saying. This is Indigenous Nation. Jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. You know this a hit. Rock your hips like to do a fresh brand. We run this, we run this, we run this. Who's the savages? Y'all the savages. Who's the savages? Nah, we ain't the savages. Speak truth to the words that I'm saying. Real niggas don't do Thanksgiving, no Columbus Day, no 4th of July, no rockets flaring up in the sky. We get turned up, put our fans up, no more gelatins. Nigga messed up. Ain't God, forget about Tupac, 2024, still stand. To stay the rock, thou shall not mess with one fork tongue. American history, son, 101. Apache, Crow, Dakota, Magdane, in North Dakota, Cheyenne, Arapaho. Watch me rock a fur coat, Eskimo. All the haters, they get that slow, knock them off one by one. Geronimo, you heard just what I'm saying. This is Indigenous Nation. Cherokee, jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. You know this a hit. Rock your hips like to do a fresh brand. We run this, we run this, we run this. No longer on the hush, can't spell US without us. kid. Rockin' hips like they're doing Fresh Prince. Right, we run this, we run this, we run this. This hit serious, this right here is serious. Wanna copy, but you're scared of us. My whole entire nation is indigenous. The Caribbeans, you heard of us. North, Central, South Americas. Hold up, take a piece of this peace pipe. I'ma show you MCs how to rock a mic. Indigenous, jump on it. Our nation, we run this. No longer on the hush. Can't spell US without.
I love that. What y'all think about that? What's up? We run this. Hey. That's what's up. I love the energy. Yes, I heard as soon as it started, I was like, oh, I remember that scene in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
That was dope. That was dope. And then is that song, is that like the music that we're hearing today that we're playing, is that all on one album?
Yeah, they're all the songs that you are hearing are singles that's going to be on the album. So I'm doing the singles one by one, releasing them, and then when I'm finished, I'm gonna collectively put them on the album. So yeah, this is definitely an exclusive on the album.
Hey, it says that you're performing 1990ish and other songs on the One Mic season TV series. Is that correct? And then you mentioned that you're currently working on your album 90s Baby. How's that going?
Like I said, I'm doing it one by one. You know, the thing about it is I'm learning like as I'm going, you know. So there was a lot of things. Yeah, very rocking. Yeah, dope, real shit. But it's going good. It's each song that I have, I keep going and I'm learning a lot. Like with this song, I actually had to get in contact with an agent to talk to somebody so I can have permission to sample the record, the original record, which is Sugar Hill Gang's Apache. So that's what kind of like took the bulk of my time actually coming out with records, because I'm not just coming out with records. I want to come out with these records, but I want them to be perfect. I want them to, you know, not just be, you know, any old record. You know, I take my time with this. You know, this is my first official album and I want to make a good impression on it. So I'm taking my time on it. I actually like forked over a lot of features. Maybe like taking like a feature, like somebody that's really close to me, be like, okay, I'll do this for you real quick and everything. But I'm doing it one by one because in today's music, they're not buying albums anymore. They want the singles, you know, the singles. So I'm coming out with the singles collectively. It's going to be all put together, but you know, that's where it's going. It's going great. It's definitely going great. And each song I get better and better and better.
That's right. That's what it's about, challenging yourself.
Yeah.
And then the labels that you've been working with. Have you been working with a few labels, not just one, collaborating with others?
Like I said, shout out to Lady V, Classy Trashy Records. She is the sister label. She's the sister label of Beautiful Danger Entertainment. So Beautiful Danger Entertainment and Classy Trashy Records. They are. It is. And they're, you know, it's one entity. So pretty soon I'm going to be working on a track with her artist is Too Nice. Shout out to him. She's going to be on the track too. She's actually releasing her first single, which is Stay Drip featuring me on the 6th. I'll be releasing my newest single, Happy Birthday Hip Hop, on the 1st. So there's a lot of things going on. And then, like I said, I'm working with other shit. King Peter Hustler, Armed and Dangerous, you know, shout out to him. That's my homie, man. Like that's my homie. Like it's crazy. Like he's from the West Coast, and I always got respect for the West Coast. I'm East Coast, you know, East Side till I die. But I have a lot of love for the West Coast. Shout out to my homie Rich Taylor too.
East Side, New Jersey.
Yeah. Shout out to my man Rich Rico Taylor. He's from Inglewood. You know, he's a rapper. He's not an official rapper, but you know, he do things. Me and him, we have a bond. Me and him, we met like years ago on YouTube, and he's like he's like me. It's funny. It's like we're so much alike. And but like I said, I have a lot of love for the West Coast. I grew up on West Coast hip hop. I got the Afro puffs, man. I'm rough and tough with my Afro puffs. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm doing, but me working with King Peter Hustler on we just came out with a record on his Thug Style album like last year. I got about like 2 joints on that. Coast to Coast is me and him. We going back and forth, and we also got Latin Love remixed. Me and him, we also did our first song together, Hangwando. Another one for the OGs. We even got another track with me, him, and Young Buck, former member of G Unit.
Hey. So
Yeah.
you have 2 features coming up, and you're working on a song with CJ Solomon,
Yeah.
and I guess you're gonna be doing another one with me.
Yeah, it's the same song. It's the same song. The thing about with that was when I had that record, when we first like recorded that record, I had high hopes for the beat. But when I went back to the producer, I only leased the beat. And this is what I'm saying. I'm learning about the business is I'm actually trying to be legit. So every beat that I buy now is an exclusive. So it was like I paid $1 for the license and she wanted 500 for the exclusive. And I was like, 500 is a lot, for an exclusive. I really gotta fuck with the beat for me to even like want to commit to that. So it was either cough up another 400 or get another beat for it that will pay a lot less. But then I would have to go and I would have to, do other things. So when I met up with Mac Beats, he's the producer that did Indigenous Nation. And he created a beat, which I'm going to send later on tonight. But
All
the
right,
beat
that's what's
that he
up.
created, he actually took my vocals and he created the beat around my vocals to the point where I really don't even got to go back to the studio to re-record. But I am going to update my flow. But he, recreated the beat around the vocals, and it's a new beat, but it's ill. Because if you remember in the song, I'm going back and forth, talking about the 90s, and I go East Coast, West Coast, and he switched the beat from like a 90s R&B type feel. And then when I talk about the West Coast, he hit the synthesizers, like you listen to the Dre, Snoop. It's crazy, son. So I had that on hold because, like I said, I'm creating my 90s Baby album. So when I'm on my distributor, CDs Baby, I'm on CD Baby as a distributor. And when I go and I submit my album and I realize, wait a minute, I'm talking about I want a 10-track album and I only got 3 songs. What the hell am I doing? I need to go and create more songs. So the 3 songs that I had, I said, okay, I'm going to go and create filler records. And when I create these filler records, then I'm going to go back to my old shit and redo everything else. So 1990-ish. Yeah, so like songs like 1990-ish, songs like a Political Statement, songs like We Run This. These are filler records for me to just get out the way real quick. Then I'm going to do my old records. So that's why it was like taking me a long time to get back to you, because I was like, let me come and fill these in. I can get at least 4 or 5 records out right now. Then I can go back to my old shit and I can revamp those. And then I'll have a complete album. So
A complete album. I got you.
that's what I'm doing. So I'll be sending that song to you because he's actually mixing the intro. Remember I told you about the intro that you did, the however do you want it? He's mixing that too. So he's doing a lot of work on that
Well,
end.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I've been working.
I
I've
know
been
it.
quiet. I've been quiet.
You
But
know
I've been
what?
working.
First is the calm before the storm.
Oh yeah.
You know, you mentioned that you're shutting down outside collabs just to focus on completing this album. And one of the collabs that I'm really fascinated to touch on is the one with you and Lady V that you mentioned, the Stay
Mm,
Drip song. Now that's what's
mm.
coming up next, ladies and gentlemen. So hold on to your matakoyas and your drinks or whatever the heck you drinking, and because we want to get into this next song. Will you go ahead and just tell us a little brief background about this song? What made you decide to collaborate with Lady V? What, like, how'd you two connect?
You know, it was crazy. I forgot initially how her and I met, but she had this record. Now, this record was actually pre-recorded before I even got on there. It was already finished. She had somebody else on the track, and I guess the person didn't hit her back. So at the last minute, I liked the beat caught me. Like the beat caught me. Like I was like, oh shit. I said, yo, let me have this, yo. Like, yo, I could definitely do something. And she was like, well, if my other artists don't hit me back, you're more than welcome to come and jump on the track. So she told me the concept of the record, and the concept of the record was her and I is both telling two opposite stories. She's telling her story, I'm telling my story. So I guess she's going on a trip with, some guy. Me, my verse is actually talking about how the first time I went outside of my city to conduct business musically with me and my wife down in Florida. Shout out to Mimi Mala and Peace on the Streets Radio in Orlando. It was literally a description from beginning to end of my verse, like how it was. And it's a nice song to ride to. It's a nice song to, chill, you got to take a trip, stay drip, all of that. It's a good one. It's a good one.
Jossie says, "Hey, Florida gang, yeah, we in Florida,
Florida.
Since
Yeah.
2000, the fall of 2003. It's funny because at least you got to be born in New Jersey, Jossie. Still a Jersey girl. Hey, she's like, she loves it. Very proud of that. All right, everybody, let us know what you think about this song. Go ahead and introduce it for them, Rap Starr. You know we love you. Here we go.
Yeah. This song is called Stay Drip. This is Lady V featuring yours truly, Rap Starr, aka Hurricane Cam. Let's get it poppin', son.
Stay drip with a hot switch. You know my boy Rap Starr got the fat whip. Hung dick, he wanna take me on a trip and make the cat trip. Why you think I wanna take the trip? I don't care if it's in the big rib. Let's move around the world while I stay on the big dick. Getting flyer miles in the airplane whip. Why you taking a trip? Stacking them up. Don't trip, it's sick dick. Got this cat tripping, glitching. So when's the next trip? Yeah, me on a trip. Why you think we together on the trip? Take a few pics, post them on the book. Click for the snap, double tap for the gram. Send your expert to make a tweet. Like I give a fuck if she mad. Daddy doing me and I'm glad. He know where it's at when he hit it from the back. Touching on my ass, making moves that ain't clean. Glitty on fleek, Pornhub know that it's easy. Stay drip.
You live life if you live right. Vámonos, mama chula, let's go and take this flight. Mi corazón, mi fiancé, soon to be wife. I know you scared, but I need you by my side. You know I'm that dude, the flow is kinda rude. Mimi Mala and Prince on the South wanna do an interview. 2 first class tickets, thanks to the stimulus. We natives, we are old way more than this. Get the packing, yeah, it's gonna be fun promoting music. Skin kids, body, Orlando sun. We touch down, peace on the streets. Here I come, hip hop in a state of emergency. Down 911. TikTok, no time to post on TikTok. Tell them 9 p.m. tune in, watch on my ish now. You live life if you live right. Vámonos, mama chula, let's go and take this flight.
Stay drip.
Vámonos, mama chula, let's go and take this flight.
Stay drip.
Stay drip. Vámonos, mama chula, let's go and take this flight.
Stay drip.
I put my Timbs, stay drip. Vámonos, mama chula, let's go and take this flight.
Stay drip.
I stay, you stay, we stay, stay drip. Lady V, Rap Starr.
Hey, I really love that beat. That beat is so nice. It's so smooth, and I
I
love the
told
way.
you.
I mean, it was
I
great. I
told
love
you.
the art cover, especially with the drip. I love the colors. You know, she's got a good voice. I love that. We all vibing. Everybody's vibing over here. You know.
Yeah.
Hey, Yuki says I like it. All right, all
What's up?
right.
That's what's up.
What's is that?
Yeah.
Is that you, Yuki Bear? Is that my Yuki Bear? Hold on. Oh, so what you don't know is that I'm also on an app called Reality, and where it's for like VTubing and stuff. And I'm we like anime, so if you wanted to continue to like check out a different platform to kind of like live stream, let people listen to your music, because I let people listen to my music too on my live stream whenever I live stream, every once in a while. It's Yuki
Mhm.
Bear. Hi, Yuki Bear. She's on Reality. I love her so much. That's my babies. I have adopted so many people because I gotta adopt people when I love them so much. It is what it is. And then I'm pretty sure you're starting to adopt some people too, right?
Of course.
Come on
Of
now.
course.
Start it, yes.
Of course.
Just like make the family bigger.
All day. All day.
Exactly, exactly. But you should make an account. You should make a
I should.
reality account. You should. You should.
Should.
Come on, Rap Starr. You can do it. Come on, please. I want to see you make an account, and then you can go live. And then the thing is that people don't see your face; they see your avatar, and then you can go ahead and you can stream your music from YouTube, and it'll show up, and then people could watch it. What
Wow.
is another
If you
fun way to advertise yourself? It's another fun way to do it.
if you see somebody that look like Future Trunks, that's me.
Okay. He's gonna make him look like, oh, she's yes, I'm hitting the sugar flies. How'd you know? Yeah, I was hitting the sugar flies. Because they're everywhere. Oh my gosh, these flies keep coming in the house. My God. She
We
says
haven't
convert
got them
to
yet.
reality. Yeah,
We haven't
Yuki
got
says,
them
come
yet.
on. So they're the youngins, they're excited. They would love to see you on Reality. You got to do it. Come on, and you got to tell me when you do it. You got to tell, and then you got to add me. You got to follow me. Oh my God, it'd be so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh please, let's make that happen, please. Like I'm not even playing. Get your phone. Oh, even Ninja's on there too. Ninja's on Reality. B Max on there. My mom is on there. She says, "Do it."
Do
It's a
it.
It's like I'm telling you, yeah, Ninja's on there too. Oh, and Coach Sly.
Word.
Coach Sly is another rap artist I worked with. I had to convert him, and he's got a reality too.
Okay. Okay. A
Yes,
lot of
everybody
people
say, do
doing it.
it,
Okay.
do it, do
Do
it,
it.
do it. I swear these sugar flies. I'm gonna get one of them little apples that they die on.
Mm,
I'm gonna
I
have to
know
because
exactly
it's
what
too.
you're talking about.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into some more of your music that what you got on. If anybody missed it, one mic is gonna be streamed, or it can be streamed on is gonna be streamed on Tubi and where else? Just Tubi?
I think just Tubi, yeah, because there's many different seasons, so I don't know what seasons is going to be on because he's still shooting. So, but yeah, everything is going to be on Tubi. One mic.
Okay, okay. Let's get into the next track. This is the one that you mentioned earlier. Happy birthday, hip hop. I really am excited about this one too,
Oh
especially
my
this,
god.
especially this one.
Oh my.
What do you
Oh
think
my.
that this song does for the culture? Why don't you let everybody know?
Okay, so when I wrote this record, I was thinking. I said, we had 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, about to be 2 years ago, was the 50th anniversary of hip hop. And we had summer jams, celebrations, concerts, events, and everything. We have hip hop records, anthems, but I haven't really heard a record to express um how hip hop is each year, for the anniversary. And I'm lyrical and I'm a storyteller and I get it from Eminem. I get it honestly from Eminem. So I decided to make a record, and the concept is me talking to hip hop. Hip hop is actually an older woman, and it first starts off with me and this older woman at a concert. There was like a big hip hop concert. And after that, we go backstage and there's a surprise birthday party. And the birthday party kind of looked like them old school house parties, the one that has like, you know, remember Biggie Smalls on One More Chance? On the,
Oh, I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. Love
mine's
his.
too. Mine's too. And it was like that
Hey!
big, it was like that big hip hop, house party. You sitting on the stairs, people passing the blunt, drinking, smoking, everybody having a good time, dancing and everything. And all of this is for her. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to her, we side by side on the couch and everything. And I'm like, yo, I really want to express how I feel towards you. And me being a hip hop artist since I was like, I don't know, like 10, 11, got serious when I was 12. It's like me having a connection. And if you don't know my background, my parents had a lot to do with me being a hip hop artist. My dad more so than my mom. My mom, she was a very instrumental part. It was her occupation because my mom worked in radio. My mom worked on television. My mom, she was like one of the producers between two radio stations. Matter of fact, she used to work at WQED. If you don't know what WQED is, WQED was the publication building that gave you Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers actually held me as a baby. For real, for real.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Mr. Rogers held me as a baby. I feel so
watch
special.
him. I used to watch Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, his whole story is based here in Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, I remember a documentary watching about Mr. Rogers. And I remember it was actually very dramatic than what I thought when he was filming. So he has a very dramatic story.
Interesting. Yeah, he do. But when he would talk about the trolley and everything, there was a point in time in Pittsburgh where that was the main transportation in Pittsburgh was the trolley. You could probably go to certain parts in the city and still see trolley tracks on the road. There might be maybe one or two trolleys around, but you would have to go to across the city, like all the way across the city, like maybe towards the south side or the west end. But we don't have them no more. But that's a part of the history. But what I was saying about Happy Birthday Hip Hop, like it was just that vibe. You're at a house party, and I'm explaining to her, because of my mom being in radio, because of my dad playing hip hop records when I was real young, I developed a feeling for you, and it grown since then, and it got even stronger. So that's how the mood for that is. So it's me being a young MC speaking to an older woman who's turning 52 this year. So, that's just what it is. If you remember, hold on. If you remember Common, the rapper Common had a song
I met Common.
I Used to Love. Yeah. Common had a song back in the day called I Used to Love Her, right? And it kind of mirrors because he was actually talking about hip hop. Now, this is where he got into beef with Ice Cube and Mac 10 because he wrote a song about I used to love her. And then in the song, he said something about I wasn't tripping when you went with the boys in the hood. So he was talking about how hip hop at its pure essence was on the East Coast. And when it got to the West Coast, it was all tricked out with the gangs. And they was like, yo, so it's fucked up that hip hop's over here now. But that record is kind of like it has the same mood as that.
I remember also seeing Common in concert with Kanye West. there was other people performing that night. Of course, there was Rihanna. She was the highlight. That's the whole reason why I was really there, to see Rihanna. And I saw Fergie, and that was the first time that she did that song, Big Girls Don't Cry. So now you know how far I'm going back.
That was wait. That was like around 2008. Cause
I'm going back. We're going back. Yeah, it was definitely before I went to film school. So I think it was before 2000, because it was before I went to film school. And I remember I took my mom. Yes, I took with my mom, and at the time my sister-in-law. And there was some other people playing, and I got a little blushy because I don't really know. I can't remember the name of the band, but even though it always leaves me whenever I talk about the band. It's the band that sings "'Cause it's you and me and all of the people and nothing to do." That song, nothing to lose. That song. Come on, I know you listen to hip hop, but you know that song. They played it in stores. They used to play that song in stores. Well, anyways, the dude he gave me like a look, and because I'm singing the song, and then he gives me a look, and I'm like, and then he nods his head because he's like, "Oh, I'm looking at you," and I'm like, "Me?" I had one of those moments. But anyways, with Common, he was on stage with Kanye West, and Kanye West, somebody had pulled his I guess his handkerchief, his bandana that was sticking out of his butt pocket. Somebody yanked it out. And Common was trying to help him find it. Unfortunately, one of the items that Common picked up was the female's panty, and it was very big. And he picked it up, and he's like, "Ew." And I'm like, "Well, why would you think that's a bandana?" He's like, I think he did that on purpose. I think he did that on purpose. You cannot. How do you mistake a panty? How do you mistake it's a hanker? Look what you have it on your head. That's not even the same material as a panty.
I don't know.
He's like, I can't explain that one.
Maybe it was dark down there. It was dark. He was just picking shit up.
It was dark. You try to cover his ass. No, everybody thought it was funny as heck. But anyways, enough of that, story, little whatever. Why don't you go ahead and announce happy birthday, hip hop?
Oh man, this is a Pittsburgh record. And when I say a Pittsburgh record, it's a Pittsburgh hip hop artist with a Pittsburgh producer. Shout out to Sonny Brasco for producing and mixing the record, man. This shit is crazy. Happy birthday, hip hop. And just because I say happy birthday, hip hop, you got to understand the date is August 11th. Don't think it's today. It drops on April the 1st, but it's not April the 1st. The anniversary is August 11th. Remember that. So this is happy birthday, hip hop. Check it out. Yo, that shit was mad crazy. You see who was all out there? But yo, guess what? We got another special surprise for you for your birthday. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. First off, hip hop. Happy birthday, nigga. Let me get running the birthday shots in, nigga. Fast 50, nigga. Hit after hit, like Summer Jam with M. Dre, 50 Cent, nigga. What can I get you? A cold brew, a 2 L's, they burn slow with School J. Fucking with the chronic, baby, you be high as hell. My roots is connected to my black thoughts. Because for love came for you, thank you, hip hop. See, what happened, it was like an arranged marriage. It was influenced for both parents. But you got me with your own marriage. Looked out for the kid, even bought my first carrot. You know the story. Mom worked the radio, dad out the Cadillac, banging hit some 94. From bad boy to ruthless to death row. Listen to these hits, push the seatbelt on, nigga, let's head now. We won't stop.
pistol right before you start to spray. Over 50, mommy ain't nothing to play with. If hip hop was a chick, she be black, Rican, and Jamaican. Let's have a bullet release for the ones who fallen. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat. We Shaq calling one by one until we empty a clip. 21 gun salute. We out, bring me more shit. The expression of our people that you can't stop. Still shot. 51 years, get a lock. From around the world to the brown block. Me your corazon. Happy birthday, hip hop. We won't stop. Cock shut down the block. Joy, light it up, roll it up, take a puff, let it glass, take a shot. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Cannot, we won't stop till the cock shut down the block. Rejoice, light it up, roll it up, take a puff, get your glass, take a shot. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Happy birthday, hip hop. Happy birthday, hip hop. Over 50, man. You over 50. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Can't stop, won't stop, will not. Happy birthday, hip hop. Yeah. Happy birthday, hip hop. August 11th. I would just like to thank you. For giving me the opportunity to spread my voice, kick knowledge. You know I got that from you. You know that, right? I got that to thank you and my parents. You know. East Coast.
All right. So Yuki said she got the hip hop, happy birthday hip hop stuck in her head because it's catchy, right? It's catchy. So I was gonna ask you a question. I always like to announce like a surprise to everybody on my radio show. So one of this with you in our next collaboration, I really think, because this was brewing in my brain, that what we do, we just got to make sure that it's going to be a really, 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 really nice, hot song. We definitely got to spit some Spanish up in there. And I just see us, wearing the feathers and just representing, because I've always wanted to do that. I did something sort of like it with Rap Devil, but it wasn't exactly what I wanted, because I wanted something more I like what we did, but that was an AI generated picture. I want something that's a real picture, of me, really me, and then really you. And then as far as wardrobe and stuff, we figure it out, but I really want us to put our creative Puerto Rican heads together.
No doubt.
Yeah, but what you think about that? And then we're both on the cover, and then we represent. And then, of course, I see that the feathers would be red, white, and blue with the. You probably would rock the black and white, and I'll do the red, white, and blue feathers. It is what it is. It's whatever. As long as we have feathers.
Yeah, no doubt. There's.
Maybe you can change the colors. Maybe you can have it. You know how you invert the colors. Maybe you can invert them or something.
No doubt. I do my album covers, so when eventually when I do ours, I can bounce those ideas off you. It's nothing. I have my headdress. I'm pretty sure you could have your headdress. It's just dope, because I want the single covers to mean something just like the
Oh,
actual song. We
Jassy
gotta add
says
the sun
we
and the
gotta add
frog.
the sun, the frog, the cookie, and the moon. Okay.
Yep.
The
Hmm.
soul, the cookie. Okay, all right. All right. I like that. Add it all. I mean, heck, don't forget the little baby.
No doubt, no doubt. Now let me ask you. Now let me ask you a question. What you think about the song?
I loved it. I love the happy birthday hip hop. And I gotta agree with them as I was working with it and putting the video together. I was like, okay, this is gonna be stuck in my head. And the most important thing about a an anthem song is it needs to stay stuck in people's heads. It has to be
Mhm.
catchy. So you succeeded in that. And it's catchy in a good way. It's not catchy in like an annoying way or a bad way. It's catchy in a good way. So I
Right.
really feel like, gosh, it would be so great to see people do some TikTok videos. You can grab some people that to do some
Hmm.
TikTok videos of them doing some hip hop dancing to a lot of your music, because we need to see more of the hip hop dance culture dancing to independent artists' music.
Right. And it's crazy. The funny thing is, my little sister, I played her the record last week, and she already heard the song, but she didn't hear the mastered version. So she's sitting in my car and she goes, "Yo, Cam, this is catchy. Like this is really catchy." Like I was like, "That's what I wanted." But I wanted the hook to be nice, the verses to be nice, the energy to be nice, the vibe to be nice. Like I said, this is something that my inner LL Cool J was coming out on this one. My inner LL Cool J. I told you, LL Cool J's is like one of my top, influences. So when I do a hip hop record, I want that energy, that LL Cool J energy when
Oh yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
go
yeah.
and
I thought you were gonna say
yeah,
DMX for a minute because I remember you mentioning
DMX
DMX.
too. DMX too. So I tell everybody, I say the last podcast I was on, he asked me a question and he asked me like what was the top five, my top five MCs. And I told him, I said, I can't really answer that because top five MCs is subjective. Everybody has a top favorite. It's your opinion. You really can't say who's the best rapper out of 5 decades. You can't say that. You know. So what I tell them is I'll give them my top five artists that make me the artist of who I am now. And
Mhm.
Eminem is one. He's the number one. 50 Cent slash the G Unit. That's number two. LL Cool J, number three. Why you think I got the gold chains and the Kango hats?
Mhm.
Number four, DMX, which I got a chance to meet 2 years before his demise. And lastly, but not least, Little Kim.
Mhm.
She's the
Yeah,
reason.
I saw you rocking the Lil Kim T-shirt. I saw you rocking. Now, like, do you have any merchandise that you're selling that you're branding your face on, and people can go and they can buy a Rap Star T-shirt?
No, it's all mine. No, I'm serious. But I haven't been selling yet. But the clothes that I have is just clothes that I make myself. But once I actually start getting into the momentum, because like right now I'm just focusing on the music part. I'm not
Mhm.
even focusing on selling merch or something like that. I'm just trying to get my
Mhm.
buzz up. That's my thing that right like what I'm doing
Mhm.
right now. So when I get there, I do plan on having merch, like special kind of merch. Like this shirt right here is a 3D print. So I want
Mhm.
3D prints of my face, my album cover on it. I got a few of them of my own. Um,
Mhm.
like what do you call them? Like the sports jerseys. Like I got a basketball jersey of
Mhm.
myself, baseball, hockey. So I'm gonna come out with these things. So because these are gonna be urban wear. I think we need to get back to urban wear. Everybody, I'm tired of everybody rocking Gucci, rocking Louis. Like when you seen people wear those stuff, you could tell that they was well off. Now you see somebody with a Gucci and Louis knowing that they knockoffs. So I think we need to get back to the urban street wear to where it looked good, but it's still comfortable. Years ago, I had a concept where I wanted to have a ladies' clothing line,
Mm.
and it
Are
was a
you are you gonna be like really pursuing that soon? You know, with the because I mean I kind of want to buy one.
what like I said, what once I'm up, then I'm gonna start coming up with these ideas. Because like I said, my only problem is I have all of these ideas, but the ideas that I have are 10 years the fuck old. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
okay.
as I'm progressing, I'm catching up and I'm like, okay, now I can do this now. Because before I was only focusing on this. Right now I only had the means and the funds to do this right now. So, but once I get to the clothing, because there's other people asking me, yo, are you coming out with a clothing? Because I'm in the fashion. You know what I'm saying? I got the fur
Right.
coats. I got the, you know,
Well,
everywhere I go, I dress like this. I dress like this everywhere. I don't give
I
a damn if I'm
know.
going to the post office. I'm gonna put
That
on my
all the way is
pants.
at post office.
Yo, like
Are you going to be
that's just.
performing? Like, would you ever sign up to perform at the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York?
I would love to. I would love to. Actually, the funny thing about it is, me and King Peter Hustler. Shout out to King Peter Hustler again, West Coast boy. Um, Me and him, our current record that we're actually in the midst of like doing is called Boricua. And in the last verse, I say the exact same thing. Like I say, I want this song to be played in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. You know, so it would be a dream for me to be in the Puerto Rican Day Parade. It would be a dream for me to perform for Juneteenth. I've been trying to get like to sign up to perform for Juneteenth. Um Indigenous Nation, we run this. I can picture this being played at a powwow. Like, yo, picture this. Picture this. It's a powwow. And if you ever been to a powwow, they have those dance competitions. Imagine they blended traditional indigenous dance with hip hop. And that's where I come in. So my records that I come out with are going to be played for a specific time and event, not just for that event, but like I said, with Indigenous Nation, I'm going to play that Thanksgiving. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, so I'm putting on my Native American headdress and I'm blasting it. When Black History Month comes, I'm putting on Power to My People. When Puerto Rican Heritage Month come up, I'm banging Boricua. You know, so I'm coming out with anthems, and this is what I'm saying. It's not about making a hit. I'm gonna do, classic Don Omar. It's not about making a hit. It's about making a classic, and that's exactly
Right.
what I'm trying to
I
do.
like I like that. I like that a lot. So, would you like to give a shout out one more time? Let everybody know where they can find you on social media platforms. It's been an honor having you. I think I never, I when we have a really good conversation, I never cut the show still like shorter. If it runs over an hour, it runs over an hour because you
Right.
know I like to give everybody respect and when we talk and having deep conversations, I just say, listen, it's not like it's easy to get you because you're
Mm-hmm.
busy. You're a busy guy. I mean, I didn't even know this was going to be possible tonight because I remember you mentioning it might be too soon because you got so
Mm-hmm.
much going on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm very proud of you. I think everybody in the conversation, please, give it up to Rap Star. Show him how proud you are of him. He's doing his thing, and before I forget my question, I remember my question now, Rap Star. I was gonna ask, are you gonna be doing any music that like a song that has to like do with being like for instance being a rap star, being a rap star because you are a rap star, but being a rapper, married, to a wonderful woman and having at like the kind of the marriage like something positive, because we do have a lot of negative we don't have a lot of positive, and I think that the young boys need to hear the, a hip hop song that is positive, especially that's brand new, from another perspective, of a rapper who's married, happy, successful, like, what I mean, something. What do you
You
think?
must be psychic because I didn't even mention that. So
I kind of am.
remember I told you the next two records that I'm working with, right? With
Hmm.
the one being you and I. The
Hmm.
next one is going to be me and CJ. Shout out to CJ. And excuse me, the song that me and him is coming out with is actually a song about my stepson who passed. And
My
it's been a long
condolences.
time coming. It's been a long time coming because like when he was alive, he would call us and he always used to say, "Yo, Cam, make a song about a real nigga. Make a song about a real nigga." And then I always would tell him I would, and then he passed. So it's like now I have to do it because like this is me honoring you.
I give him
This
respect.
is your mother honoring you. This is me honoring your mother. So that's the next record that's coming out with. So I'm actually starting on it. It's just, it's going to be a little different because now I have to tone it down. Now I have to actually hone in on my storytelling abilities, which I can do, but this ain't, a hip hop record. This is a little bit personal. So, yes, a song like that is definitely next. That's going to be on the album. Like I said, I'm still recording records for the album, so there's going to be many different topics that I'm going to be talking about. Right now, starting on the first, I'll have 4 records that are actually officially out. Um, I still got songs that I finished that I haven't actually put out yet because I have to go and some of them have samples in it, so I have to go back to my agent and talk to my agent about getting those samples cleared. So yeah, like it's definitely going to be one to remember. Like I said, it's a '90s baby album, so you'll have all the elements of storytelling, lyricism, um, great beats, great mood, great vibe, uh, personal shit. So it's just anything that you love about the '90s and the early 2000s. This is what you would get in all aspects of the things that I'm talking about.
I like that. I like that. That's what's up. All right, everybody, you heard it. Please follow Rap Starr on all social media platforms. Go ahead and give your shout outs and one one quick, goodbye to everybody. Everybody, come on, pay attention.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do this as quickly as possible because I got a lot to say. I run my mouth a lot, so bear with me. You can find me on Facebook on my Facebook fan page, Rap Starr, aka Hurricane Cam. I have 2 pages. One has the Puerto Rican flag on there. That's the one that I can't get into. So there's another one that actually has my Happy Birthday hip hop single cover on there. That's the one you should go to. As far as YouTube is concerned, you can go to straight to it's Rap to the Star Music. So it's ITSRAP, the number 2THESTARR music. Same with my Instagram, just minus the music. It's Rap to the Star. Twitter, Rap Starr 412. I'm not really on Twitter that much, but I have it. You can, hop on that. As far as like my music goes, I'm on all major platforms like Pandora, um, iHeart, iTunes, Shazam. Any music outlet out there that you could think of, I'm on it. Just look up your boy, Rap Starr, RAPSTARR. One word. I like to shout out Lily for actually, spelling out my name correctly. There's other people I've been, having interviews with where they spelled my name wrong. Um, but yeah, you can find me everywhere. That's exactly where I'm at. Nice to meet you too, Yoki.
Yuki Bear. Don't forget to make that reality avatar. And you gotta tell me
No
when you
doubt.
do it. Don't
No doubt.
forget, please.
I
Do you need
won't.
me to
I
send you the
won't.
app?
No, I got it. I
You
got
know
it. I'm a
what?
big boy.
Okay. Yeah, just go to reality. Just type in reality and make your avatar, please. I'll give you my avatar name in Messenger. It's Lee Soo
Gotcha.
Young.
He's too young. You
Yeah.
know what's
So
funny? So
what's up?
at my job there was a guy, and he was an Asian guy, and he was buying these materials, but he wanted to pay now and pick up later. So he
Hmm.
told me and my guys that a person named Soo Young was gonna come.
Hmm.
So everybody's thinking it's Soo Young from Russia.
Oh my god,
Everybody's like, yo,
that's
I
so
was like,
funny.
yo, they was thinking it was her. And when Soo Young actually came, it was a grown ass man. They were so disappointed. They
That's so funny the way you said they were so disappointed.
were
Well,
so
Lisa Young
disappointed.
is a character they created for Animal Club. Shout out to Animal Club and shout out to everybody who's on Animal Club. Yay! My daughter's on Animal Club too. She is the monkey queen. She's year of the monkey, so we play on our zodiac signs and other things like that. So and so I'll keep in touch because I think like me being Sagittarius, you being Aquarius, we can talk. We talk.
Man,
We talk.
I
We like,
tell you,
oh
I
yeah.
tell you, it's crazy because I like I said, I talk too much. I tell my grandfather everything. He said, how the interview go? Oh man, we was going for like 3 hours. 3 hours? Yeah, it was supposed to be one, but you know I talk a lot, so it just goes. It just went.
But
Yeah.
we were really, hitting on some important things that, I really am glad that we touched on because, the music is very important. The messages in the music is very important. And then what you're doing to promote that music is important. So it's all important and we got to get it all in there. It takes time, sometimes it happens.
Mm.
But I know that you got so many things to do, and we got to keep it going. I love you so much. You're awesome. God bless you. God bless wifey. I love her so much. And tell her I miss her face because I remember I used to see her in pictures. I'm like, where's the pictures? I want to see the pictures. And then blessings to you. May you both, have some beautiful babies coming out. I want to see the pictures. Oh, I can't wait. I'm sorry, I'm a dork when it comes to little babies. I'm like, yes, shout out to everything. Yes, Yuki Bear, I love you. And you know, I guess you just sign off.
You know what? We actually started picking baby names. Actually,
Oh, you did. Oh,
mm.
I get an exclusive.
Funny thing is, you know, if 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 I had it my way, we would have like 5, 6. So if it's a girl, name Olivia.
Why
If
can't
it's
have
a
five,
boy,
6? Have some 5, 6.
huh?
Have 10. Have 10 babies.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. But we named the daughter Olivia, and if it's a boy, either Keon or Canaan.
Hmm.
Now, if I have my way, it's going to be Canaan. Now, if I have a Canaan and we have an Olivia, all I need is a Banks, a Tony Ayo,
I see where you're going with this. I
and a
see what you're
young
doing.
buck.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Jitsu
Oh wow.
jujitsu.
Clever are we? Just so clever. All right, Rap Star. I love you and I hope you have a wonderful night. And please keep us locked into what your next moves are going to be and your films. I hope you don't give up on the film because as a film director myself, I love to work on films, but I also like to work with people who do music and get them in the films. Somehow I think that we know how to bring out emotion very well. That's
Well,
just
you
my
know
opinion.
what? Well, you know what? Maybe not in the film, but I am open to do a documentary. I always wanted to do documentaries because, like I said, I'm a historian. So I would
Mhm.
rather do a documentary rather than me actually playing a character because I'm a teacher. I'm a this is what I do. I'm like the 2025 version of KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? I'm the teacher. So
Mhm.
if I was ever to go and film, that's where I would be. Is, hey, my guy, you ever see Crockies? Look at that crocodile over there. I'm that type of guy. I wouldn't be over there with the crocodiles, but I'll be showing people shit.
Papi, gators are known to have the most succulent meat. Un poquito rojo en Venezuela.
And I should know this, being that I'm also Seminole Native American too, but I never had gator meat before. I always wanted to
I
live
never
like.
ate gator meat. I was just I was quoting a line from Transformers, the movie, the first one that came out.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny.
That's what I do. I'll be quoting movies. I never tried gator meat.
I don't know. Like I said, my ancestors are Seminole Natives, and that's what they ate. But maybe I don't know, because watching Waterboy, they made it look crazy.
Yeah.
I guess me watching Waterboy, I was like, nah, I don't know about that. Mama didn't cook it on the grill right.
Maybe they messed. Maybe that was the joke. Maybe that was the joke. Mhm. All right. Well, ciao, Rap Starr. Say ciao to everybody else. They all love you. They all like we're listening to your music and everything.
Word. Shout out to everybody who was listening out there. Shout out to Lily the Goddess for having me on the show. Beverly Bush, what up? Beautiful Danger Entertainment. Classy Trashy Records. Lady V. Shout out to them. Shout out to her. Shout out to everybody who been listening to my music so far. Any new ones, any old ones. Shout out to the old school, the new school. Shout out to the East Coast. Shout out to the West Coast. Shout out to everybody. Puerto Rico, Africa, Japan, China, Iraq, Iran, all of them, man. Shout out to Jamaica, man. A lot of Jamaicans over there, man. Shout out to Jamaica, man. Just shout out to everybody who listening to the real hip hop. It's Rap to the Star. You already know what it is.
Yeah. All right, everybody. This is your girl Lily the Goddess signing off. I hope to catch Rap Starr next time soon, because I never like to miss anything that's going on. And yes, let's encourage him to get the clothing line out, because I want to get me a Rap Starr shirt. I'm trying to support, represent. All right, everybody. Love you. See you next time on FlawlessDreams radio show.